Hello students, welcome to tutoringcluster.com. So in this video, we are going to solve some multiple choice questions on unit number 1, that is Introduction to Energy Resources and its Conversion. So this will help you in your exams. You can expect such type of question for your exams, right? Okay, so let us start with the video. I have uploaded some theory part. Okay, I have already given you a brief about various power plants. You can check out all those videos in the playlist. Okay, you can find the link of those videos in the description box. So let us start with first question. The question is, which of the following is not a renewable form of energy? Options are solar, hydropower, tidal, all of the above, and none of the above. So let us understand first what do you mean by a renewable source of energy or renewable form of energy. So basically energy sustainable, which is sustainable, which is endless and which cannot run out. Such type of energy sources are considered as renewable, which are endless. So common form of renewable energy resources are: one is solar, then you are having a tidal energy, wind energy, then biogas and geothermal. These are the common, right? These are the common renewable source of energy. These are what? Renewable. Now, so this is clear that solar is renewable, tidal is renewable. Now let us discuss about hydropower. Now what is hydropower basically? Okay, so you know what is hydroelectric power plant? Hydroelectric power plant. I have already uploaded the video. You can go and check out. So basically, we are converting the potential energy of water into first kinetic energy, and then we are allowing that water to flow on the turbine. So turbine, which is connected to generator, that is going to produce electrical energy. So basically, it uses water. Now, first thing, you can reuse the water, right? You can reuse the water. Second thing, in this hydroelectric power plant, there is very less, almost negligible CO2 emission. So in some of the countries, this is also one definition of renewable, okay, which has a very less emission, almost negligible emission. When that also resources is considered as renewable, right? Now, how it is reusable? We know water cycle. What is water cycle basically? See what is happening. So you are having rivers, or let's say ocean. Okay, so due to sun, the water is going to get evaporate, right? And then it is forming a clouds, and then again these clouds, from cloud you are again getting the water, and which is getting stored again in river or in oceans, right, or in dams, whatever it is, right? So this is what continuous process. So water is reusable. That's why the hydropower is also considered as a renewable form of energy sources, right? So all are renewable. So basically what will be answer? There is none of the above, right? They have asked you non-renewable sources, so none of this, right? So I hope this all the things are clear related to a renewable form of energy. So this is how the approach will be there. This is how we are going to discuss each and every concept related to that question. So I hope first question is clear to everyone. So let us discuss second. Now, the source of energy, the source of energy is known as a renewable source. Fossil fuel, nuclear, CNG, this is what? A natural gas, right? And all of the above. What they have asked you? Renewable. Okay. Now, just now we have seen what is the definition of renewable sources, and we have also seen that what are the different form of energy sources. Now, when we see fossil fuel, it's a non-renewable, right? It's a non-renewable that we know. Natural gas is also non-renewable. Now, let us discuss about something about nuclear energy. Now, when we talk of nuclear energy, first point, so nuclear power plant. From nuclear energy, you get a very low carbon emissions. So in some countries, I have already told, if it is giving out a very less or negligible carbon emission, that also considered as renewable. And when we talk of a nuclear power plant, so basically uranium is used. Now till now, nobody knows how much uranium is there. Right. Now, one of the professor in the US countries, you can search on this. Now, during his research, he has told that if all the uranium sources found, then it can fuel the earth, it can supply the energy for another 4 billion years. So it's a endless. Can we consider this as endless? And that is what the definition of renewable sources. Right? If you remember, we have discussed in question number 1. So that's why looking at the option, the most appropriate is nuclear. Nuclear is considered as a nuclear as a what? A renewable source. It is considered as a renewable. Right? So hope this question is clear to everyone. Now let us discuss the next question number 3. What it says? Now, which of the following energy is converted into electricity into hydro power plant? Okay, so basically you are having what? Potential energy of water, right? See how energy conversion takes place. So potential energy of the water. So first it is converted into what? Kinetic energy. Kinetic energy of water. So high velocity water, we are allow it to fall on the turbine. So we are converting kinetic energy of water into a mechanical energy, and that turbine, it is connected to the generators. Mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. So I hope energy conversion in hydroelectric power plant is clear now. Hydroelectric power plant. You have to remember like this, right? Okay. So what is the correct answer? Potential energy of water. Okay. Now, which of the following energy is converted into, okay, I think this is repeated. So this is how the hydroelectric power plant work. Okay, you are having a tap, we are storing the water at a height h so that it has a potential energy in it. We are allowing that to flow through this, and we are converting this potential energy first into a kinetic energy. We are allowing it to fall on turbine, so it gets converted into mechanical energy. This turbine, it is connected to generator, so it is going to produce an electrical energy, right? So basically potential energy of water is converted into electrical energy. Now let us see the next question. Okay. The solar energy is preferred because it is, why solar energy is preferred? It is free from pollution. Yes. Available in abundance. That means it is available in a very huge quantity. Yes. No fuel transportation. Yes. Right. When we talk about coal, so there, thermal power plant, for example, there you have to transport the coal. Okay. So coal transportation is one of the big disadvantage of thermal power plant. Then can we convert into power? Yes, you can convert the solar energy into electrical energy using solar cell. So basically, what will be the answer? All of the above, right? Okay, very easy question basically. Okay, let us see the next. Now, which of the following is an example of high grade energy? Okay, Now let us understand first what is high grade energy and low grade energy. High grade energy and low grade energy. Okay. Now, now work, or let's say electrical energy. Now it easily can be easily converted to heat. Let's say for example you are having an electric heater. So input is what? Electrical energy. Output is what? Heat. So work and electrical energy can be easily converted into heat. Now but when we talk of reverse of this, let's say heat can't be completely converted into work, or let's say electrical energy, right? So that's why the work and electrical energy, these are considered as high grade energy, while heat is an example of low grade energy, right? Anything which we can convert into heat can be considered as high grade energy, right? So electrical energy, yes, it's a high grade energy. Chemical energy, yes, you can convert the chemical energy. Let's say chemical energy of the coal can be converted into heat. Then uh, we are burning the coal, right? So we are heating the water and can be converted into heat, right? So chemical energy can be considered as high grade energy. So answer will be both A and B, right? Heat energy, it is a low grade, it is a low grade energy, right? So I hope with this what is mean by high grade energy and low grade energy is clear to you. And one more thing, low grade energy up to 20 to 40% you can convert into work or electrical. Okay, that you have to remember. Okay, so let us discuss the next. Hydropower is a conventional form of energy. Yes, it is a conventional form of energy, right? We have discussed conventional means which are used from very past years. For example, thermal power plant is also a conventional form of energy. Okay, coal which is used, it is also a conventional form, right? So hydroelectric power which uses water is a conventional form. Now, next is a potential energy of 1 kg of water in kilojoule at an altitude of 1200 meter will be. So basically this is example for hydroelectric power plant. So we know what is potential energy, basic formula mg into h. Now m, it is what? 1 kg. 1 into g is acceleration due to gravity 9.81, and altitude, it is how much? 1200 meter. So 11772 joule. If you do the calculation, you will get this. So it will be 11.772 kilojoule. So what is the correct answer? Option number D. Right. So simple formula you have to remember. Potential energy is mgh, and kinetic energy is what? Half mv square. Right. You can remember both these formulas. Now, question number 8. A solar collector is a device for collecting solar radiation on a surface called absorber and transfer this energy to the another fluid. So solar collector is a device for collecting a solar radiation. Yes, it is true, on the surface called absorber, and transfer this energy into the another fluid. Yes, it is correct. Okay, let us discuss this. So this is basically a solar collector. This is what? A solar collector. Okay, so I have shown you a basic components of solar water heating system. So this solar collector, what is the function? It is going to collect whatever solar energy is going to fall on it, and from the storage tank, the cold water, it gets pumped into these tubes. So whatever solar energy it receives, that heat energy, it is passed onto the cold water. So cold water, the temperature, it will increase. So you will get a hot water which will be get again stored in storage tank. So you can easily use the hot water and you can pump more cold water into this. Right. So this is a simple schematic which shows how solar water heating system works. So what is the correct answer? It is a true. Right. It transfer its energy to the another fluid. So basically solar energy. Okay. The solar energy is getting transferred to which fluid? To the water. Okay. So the temperature of water, it will increase and the hot water will be there for the application. Okay, you can use the hot water from it, right? So this is basically a simple schematic of a solar water heating system, and it's a renewable form of energy that we know, right? Okay, now question number 9. The function of dam or reservoir in hydro power plant is to provide high working head. Yes, it is true. Okay, head means what? This side edge, this is called as head. So the function of dam or reservoir is to provide high working head. So high working head means potential energy will be high, right? So I have already told you how the energy conversion takes place. So basically potential energy is first converted into kinetic energy, then to mechanical energy, and then to electrical energy, right? So this is how energy conversion takes place. So these are the various parts of hydroelectric power plant. You can see you are having a dam or reservoir. This is the penstock. It's a long tube, right? Then you are having a turbine here, water turbine, of course, right? You are having a draft tube. So whatever water is falling onto the turbine, so that water, it is again getting stored in reservoir through this draft tube. So this turbine, then it is connected to electrical generator. So mechanical energy of the turbine, it is getting converted into electrical energy, right? And then you are having a transformer, substation, etc., right? So this is the basic components of hydroelectric power plant. So hope you are finding this video useful. Please do like and subscribe the YouTube channel, and don't forget to share with your friends also. Okay, so let us see the next question. Now, biogas is produced by anaerobic decomposition of organic waste by suitable bacteria. So whether it is true or false. Okay, see here, when we talk of a biogas, okay, so the input to produce the biogas, it is what? It can be food waste or wastewater, crops or livestock waste, right? So you are having a digester. So in this anaerobic decomposition of all the waste takes place by the suitable bacteria, and what is the output? Output is biogas or digestate, which you can use for fertilizer, which you can use as a fertilizer. And this biogas can be used for the cooking to produce the electricity, and as well as biomethane you can use as a fuel, as well as it can be used in gas grid. So this is overall about a biogas, which is a renewable source of energy, right? So how the biogas get produced? By anaerobic decomposition of all the waste, and these are the various applications, right? So what will be answer to this? Biogas is produced by anaerobic decomposition. Yes, so it's a true statement, right? So I have tried to give you overall all about the biogas. I hope the things are clear to you now. Let us see the next. The energy which is not derived from the sun is biomass. Yes, it is derived from the sun. Fossil fuel. Yes. Nuclear energy. No. Geothermal energy. Yes. What is geothermal energy basically? So geothermal, that means thermal means heat energy. So heat energy which is stored in geo means what? Earth crust. Okay, you can use that thermal energy which is there inside the earth to heat the water to convert into steam. That steam can be used to run the turbine which is connected to generator, and then it is going to produce electrical energy. Okay, see how geothermal energy works basically. So you are having a heat energy, or you can say, let's say, thermal energy which is stored in the earth crust. So this energy, it is used to heat the water to produce what? To produce this steam. This high velocity steam, it is allowed to fall on steam turbine. So turbine is going to rotate. This turbine, it is connected to what? It is connected to generator, right? And you are going to get electrical energy. Is it clear? So this is how a geothermal power plant, you can say, how it works, right? So the correct answer is what? Nuclear energy. Okay, there is no role of sun here, right? Okay. Now, biofuels can be produced from, just now we have discussed, okay, biomass, agricultural waste, municipal garbage. So what is all of the above? Very simple question. Next, question number 13. Now this is interesting. Fuel cell electrolyte use can be. Okay, fuel cell electrolyte, in fuel cell electrolyte used can be. No. So options are H2SO4, then you are having a KOH, that is alkali, right? Or both A and B, and none of the above. Okay. So basically, what is fuel cell? That we will first understand. Now, fuel cell basically it uses a hydrogen as a fuel. That you have to remember first thing. Now, I have shown you a fuel cell. So you are having a anode and a cathode here, right? And a electrolyte. So the question they have asked, this electrolyte, it is what? Whether it is H2SO4 or it is KOH. Okay, so basically fuel cell, it is a electrochemical device in which chemical energy of the fuel, chemical energy, it is getting converted into electrical energy. Okay, so at the anode side you are supplying the hydrogen, at the cathode side you are supplying the oxygen. Okay, now how the reaction takes place? See, at the anode what happens is, at the anode the hydrogen, it gives out 2H plus 2 electron. These are the electrons given, right? And at the cathode, these electrons, these are received by the oxygen, and the reaction takes place as half O2 plus H2O plus 2 electrons. From where these electrons are coming? From the anode, right? So these electrons are received by the oxygen, and the overall reaction is what? H2 plus half O2, it is going to produce water, and that is what water is coming out, right? Now, what is basically electricity? Electricity is nothing but a flow of electron. The flow of electron, it is taking place from anode to the cathode. Flow of electron is taking place from anode to the cathode. Okay, so basically the chemical energy, this is what basically hydrogen, oxygen, these are all in chemistry, right? So chemical energy, it is converted into what? Electrical energy. Now the electrolyte which is used here, it can be H2SO4 or KOH. Okay, if you are using H2SO4, if you are using H2SO4 as a, let's say, electrolyte, such type of fuel cell, it is called as acidic fuel cell. Acidic fuel cell. And if you are using KOH, which is alkali, you can call those fuel cell as alkaline fuel cell, right? So remember, so number of questions can be framed on the fuel cell, that you have to remember. So basically in fuel cell, chemical energy is converted into what? Electrical energy. Okay, then at the anode, which gas is passed? Hydrogen. At the cathode, we are passing what? Oxygen. What is the end product? End product is what? Water. Water is coming out through the fuel cell. And at the anode, there will be release of the electron. This electron is going to flow from the anode to the cathode. So flow of electron is nothing but what? Electric current. So this is how chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. So you can go for either H2SO4 or KOH. So I hope all the things related to fuel cell will be clear to you now, right? Okay. All right. Let us see the next question. A device which converts kinetic and pressure energy of water into mechanical work is. It is what? A turbine. It is what? A turbine. If you remember, a turbine is basically in hydroelectric power plant. So potential energy and a kinetic energy of water, it is getting converted into a mechanical energy. And which device it is performing this work? It is a turbine. It is what? A turbine. Okay. Now let us discuss some important points related to turbine, related to pump, and related to compressor. Okay. Now the first figure which I have drawn here, which I have shown here, it is a pump. The second figure, it is a turbine, hydraulic turbine, and this is a compressor. These are what? Energy conversion devices. Okay. Now let us see some important points related to pump. Now, when we talk of a pump, so basically before the pump, motor will come. Okay, understand the difference between first motor. Okay, to better understand, I will write like this. So let's say you are having a motor and you are having a pump. So basically motor, it converts electrical energy into a mechanical energy, while pump, it takes this mechanical energy and it converts into pressure energy. Is it clear? Okay, so input to the pump, what is it? Mechanical energy of the motor, and output is what? Pressure energy. Output is what? Pressure energy. Now this pump, these are basically of two type. One is a positive displacement pump, positive displacement pump, and second one is a rotodynamic pump, rotodynamic pump. Okay, you can remember the example. Positive displacement pump, basically these are the reciprocating one. Reciprocating pumps comes under this. And in rotodynamic pump, a centrifugal pump is important. Centrifugal pump. Okay, so the figure which I have shown here, it's a centrifugal pump. It's a centrifugal pump. What are the different parts of it? You are having a impeller. See here, you are having a impeller, right? Then you are having an eye. These are the blades. These are the blades of the impeller, right? So this is how the water is going to enter. Okay, so this impeller, it's a rotating part. It's a rotating part. So this drive shaft, it is connected to motor basically. These are the vents. blades or vents, right? So basically we are converting through this pump, we are converting the mechanical energy of the motor into the pressure energy. Where the pumps are used? See, pumps basically, what is the application? If you want to put the fluid at a certain height, if you want to send the fluid, let's say at a certain height, let's say you want to transfer the fluid, or you if you want to transfer the water, you can use the pump, right? Okay, so this is little bit about pump. I hope the things are clear to you now. Next thing is a turbine. What is turbine basically? See here, when we talk of a turbine, it converts potential energy and kinetic energy of the water into a mechanical energy. Okay, it can be water turbine, it can be a steam turbine. Okay, so water turbine, it is going to run on the water. Steam turbine, it is going to run on steam. Now this turbine, it can be of two types. It can be an impulse turbine or it can be a reaction turbine. Okay, now what is the major difference between this? What do you mean by an impulse turbine and what do you mean by a reaction turbine? That is important. Now, when we talk of impulse turbine, okay, name only suggests it is going to work on the principle of impulse. So basically, the complete head the complete head or pressure energy of water, it is first converted into kinetic energy by using a nozzle, and then it is used to rotate the turbine. Okay, so in case of impulse, complete head or potential energy, it is first converted into a kinetic energy. While in case of a reaction turbine, only a part of potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. Okay, the examples are important. Pelton wheel, which I have shown here, figure, it is of Pelton wheel. It is a impulse turbine. While the examples of reaction turbine are Francis turbine or a Kaplan turbine. So remember the examples, these are also very important. So in your study, you are having a Pelton wheel. I have shown you a schematic of Pelton wheel. This is a Pelton wheel. Okay, so bucket, these are nothing but vents, blades you can say. So this is the nozzle. So potential energy first it is converted into what? Kinetic energy. So high velocity water, it is going to strike this bucket and it is going to rotate this rotor, right? And you will get the output. That is fine. So this is about a Pelton wheel. Okay, so Pelton wheel, it is an example of impulse turbine, while the examples of reaction turbine are what? Francis and Kaplan turbine. Now the last one is a compressor. So basically, compressor, as name shows, compressors these are going to use for what purpose? If you want to have the high pressurized fluid, if you want to have the high pressurized fluid, right? So there you are going to use a compressor. Okay, now again this compressor, it can be of two types. It can be positive displacement compressor or it can be a rotary compressor, right? You can consider it as a reciprocating compressor or a rotary compressor. The figure which I have shown here, it is of the type reciprocating, right? So this piston is going to reciprocate inside this cylinder. So when this piston is going to move inwards, it is going to apply the pressure on the fluid which is there inside the cylinder. Okay, so pressure of the fluid, it is going to increase. You can take out such fluid from the discharge pipe. So whenever the requirement is of high pressurized fluid, at that time we are going to use a compressor. So I hope this slide gives an overall related to pump, turbine, compressor. So remember one thing, study the centrifugal pump. Okay, when you are studying a pump, Centrifugal pump is important when you are studying the turbine. Pelton wheel is important when you are studying a compressor. Prepare the reciprocating type well, right? Okay, and remember how the energy conversion takes place. That is more important, right? I hope these things are clear. Now, let us see the next. The fuel cell consists of anode, cathode, electrolyte, all of the above. Yes, all of the above. I have already given you the brief about fuel cell. So this is all about part 1. So hope you have understood all the questions. So wherever necessary, I have tried my best to give the explanation of each and every concept which is related to that question. So please do hit the like button and subscribe my YouTube channel. You can join us on Telegram. Also, you can like us on the Facebook page. I will upload the second part of this shortly. Till then, take care and thank you.